Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, thief. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I
Patty to patty.
One style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro. Like,
Yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I'm your host, Bodkins, of course, and man, it is NFL Week 15. Just kind of wrapping up. We got 3 games to go. My Packers are getting ready to take on Seattle. We got some more clarification. Kind of cleared out some playoffs. Kudos to the Houston Texans going back-to-back AFC South champions after the Colts. Don't get me fucking started on them. You know what? Fuck them. Like Jonathan Taylor, you damn fucking cost me a chance to make it to advance in my fantasy playoffs because you want to drop the ball. After that, everything. The Colts were winning that game, and he scores that. They're up 2 scores. And drops the ball at the half-yard line or whatever, doesn't cross the plane. Broncos get the ball. Broncos end up fucking crushing them. Good. I hope the Colts don't ever win a damn game. I hope Jonathan Taylor trips walking on the bus and busts out his 2 front teeth, and then when he's trying to pick up his teeth, blows out both ACLs. That's how I feel about Jonathan Taylor and the damn Colts this evening. They have maybe I don't win my fantasy or not with whether he scores a touchdown, but you know what? 6 points would have fucking Johnny. 6 points would have fucking helped. Cost me chance at pretty much $1,000 if I win the advance. It just advance and then win the championship. But this fucking shit. Fuck you, Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. I hope they don't make the playoffs. Their chances are pretty much doomed. Your Dolphins playoffs chances, I know we talked about it this morning. You said they probably ain't making it, but guess what? After the loss to the Texans today, they definitely ain't making it. Chargers, I mean, here come the Bucks, baby. They look really good. They put it on the Chargers. Bills bounced back in a big way, kind of, a little humble pie to the Lions. I don't understand what Dan Campbell was doing down 10, trying to kick an onside kick with 10-minute mark in the fourth quarter. That made no sense. I guess you just have, at that point in your time, you're maybe just saying, you know what? We can't stop Josh Allen and all the things he's doing. We might as well try a 3% onside kick because those only happen. And maybe you're like 100% of the time right now, Josh Allen is fucking scoring touchdowns on us. So we might as well try a 3% to kick an onside kick because 100% we're not stopping Josh Allen. But those are kind of some of the early takeaways, Johnny. What's your, before we get into it, any thoughts? Just sorry, going on a little rant here.
No, you're good. I don't understand this thing. We talked about it before the show. This thing that players have where they just feel the need to drop the ball. I guess they want to drop it as soon as they cross the plane. That's some big deal for some reason because we've seen it happen in college. And a couple of times in the NFL this season. There was a famous time Deshaun Jackson did it when he was with the Eagles. I don't understand why they think it's a cool thing to drop it as soon as you cross the plane. Just get into the damn end zone and then spike the ball, drop the ball, do whatever the hell you need to do, but at least make sure you cross the damn plane. So that was just a stupid play, bro.
Jonathan Taylor did it, and I think a Bengals DB did it today.
Yeah, so I don't understand what the
nice in one day. Do a dance. I'd rather you do a dance or fucking do the Barry Sanders and hand the ball to the ref. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I hate to,
but make sure you get into the end zone. You know what I'm saying? It's not a hard thing. As far as the Houston Texans and my Dolphins, it was a complete shit show. Tua completely pissed down his leg in another big game and another opportunity. He just completely shit the bed and played like total ass. Houston was not playing well.
They're not a good. Houston's not a good team, though.
No,
I mean,
no. They were ready to get got, but Tua and the Dolphins again. They go up against a team with a winning record, a halfway decent team, and they crawl into fetal position and act like a bunch of bitches and just lose the game. So a terrible showing for the Dolphins. They had slim chances of possibly making the playoffs, and now it's gotten significantly worse. And the worst part of that is Indianapolis lost, the Chargers lost. So if they win this game today, they're only a game back of the final playoff spot. But why come through in a situation like this? They just can't come through in a big game at all. So it's just sad and pathetic what's happening to the Dolphins. The Bengals were early struggles against the Titans, but they found a way to win the game. The Chiefs actually cover finally. So there was some good stuff that happened today.
Mahomes got banged up ankle injury as well.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. There's guys that are hurt. I don't know about a bust. I don't know about a bust. He's just having a down year, his second year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
he's saying like this year he's busted.
And not for nothing, he didn't play great in this game, but there were plays that they needed him to make, and he came through and made those plays. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. When they needed him to make a play, he made the plays today to win the game and take advantage of all the mistakes that the Dolphins made. I don't know about a bust. Maybe the expectations were a bit too high for him and the Texans. But nevertheless, they still won. They still won the division, even though it's probably one of the worst divisions in the NFL. But you mentioned the Bucks. Props to Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Mike Evans was another big day, putting the beat down on the Chargers in LA. So happy for the Bucks. The New Orleans Saints, man. Like I don't understand this whole analytics shit. You put together a nice comeback.
I don't mind the going for two.
Man, fuck that. No, fuck that. You're at home. You just came back. You were down 17-0. Your team came all the way back. You score right there at the last second. You got all the momentum. Kick the damn extra point and see if your team could pull out the win in overtime, especially in that division that's hot garbage. Like, you need to win these games, and I understand the whole going for two, but now you lost. You know what I'm saying? Like,
their season's already done.
Yeah, but in that division, they were only a game back. In that division, division is horrible. You know what I'm saying? And the defense had been playing well in the second half. So why not just kick the extra point, tie the game, and then see what happens in overtime? Instead, you want to gamble with the whole analytics and the whole 2 points, and then now, you know what I'm saying, you lost. You know what I'm saying? So all that comeback for nothing.
Yeah, you're playing with really your they probably should have started Spencer Rattler to begin with.
But now your season's over. Now the Bucks have a 2-game lead on you. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to catch them now, where you actually had an opportunity.
Anyway, I know.
No, I don't think so either. But you still had an opportunity there, and you gambled it away, and you missed it. And then there was a horrible play call where he only had the one read, right? Like, it was just a shit show there. It was an exciting game, second half. That, like I said, they came back on Washington, and then you go for two and you miss it and you wind up losing the game. So I don't know what they were thinking there, but I'm happy for the Bucks down here. Obviously I'm down here in Tampa. Happy for my Bucks, you know what I'm saying? My friends, my boys that are Bucks fans and stuff like that, the Bucks. If I had to have an NFC team, I guess it'd be the Bucks. I've always had family and stuff down here in Tampa, so I've always been around the Bucks since I was little, since the Vinny Testaverde days and the you know what I'm saying, the popsicle uniforms or whatever. The orangecicles. Apologies. So I'm happy for Tampa. You know what I'm saying? They stomped out the Chargers. Chargers were getting a lot of hype, and Tampa Bay just stomped them out. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens these last few weeks. But props to Houston for winning a horrible division. Even though they haven't been exactly great this year.
The Steelers clinched a playoff spot too with
I believe they did. Yep. Yeah, with the Colts loss and the Chargers loss.
Even with them losing. Yeah. Let's jump into it. We'll start here with that Commanders Saints game.
Right.
So we got Commanders win, like you said, 20-19. The Saints come roaring back. They outscore them in the second half. The Commanders only scored 6 points in the second half. 19 points from the Saints in the second half. So it was 19-6 in that second half. So they did have momentum. I personally don't mind the going for two to win it. Maybe the play call was not the right play call, but I like it because you are at that point in time, you only have 5 wins on the season. Why not? The Commanders, though, they got to figure some things out because if they want to beat some playoff teams, you can't be hanging around. You got to learn to put teams away, and they couldn't put them away in that second half. Jaden Daniels goes 25 of 31, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ran the ball, 11 carries for 66 yards. Brian Robinson Jr., 21 carries, 65 yards. Terry McLaurin, 7 for 73, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he continues to be one of the best receivers in this league. Again, they started Jake Hayner, and then they brought in Spencer Rattler, Rattlesnake Rattler. And he does pretty well, 10 of 21, 135 yards, 1 touchdown. Alvin Kamara gets banged up in this game. Kendra Miller runs for 9 for 46. MVS had 2 for 64. Alvin Kamara caught a touchdown. Foster Moreau caught a touchdown. Johnny, I think we kind of summed this game up already, but any other thoughts here on Saints Commanders?
No, I'm with you on that. The Commanders really need to learn how to finish off games. I don't know if it's a Dan Quinn thing where he just kind of takes his foot off the gas in the second half. They had a nice lead. We're pretty much dominating the Saints, and then it looks like they kind of took their foot off the gas there at the end. So they're going to need to learn how to close out games, especially as they get closer to the playoffs. But again, I don't know why the Saints didn't start Rattler. I get it. They only had 5 wins, but in that sorry-ass division, you still had an opportunity. So I hear what you're saying as far as going for the 2, but I don't agree with it. I guess that's the old school in me. You're at home, kick the extra point, go into overtime, and see what you can do. But
a lot of people will say play for tie at home and then play for the win on the road. So
absolutely. But Jaden Daniels is the truth. And I'm happy for Scary Terry. He's actually got a good quarterback that gets him the ball in the right spots, and he's able to make plays. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, real quick too on the Saints. Let me ask you, their coach, their interim coach might be competing for he might have a head coaching job. Like he might keep that job.
I think it's possible, but
they played a lot better with him as the coach. Like they've
definitely been playing better since he took over.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm having like Antonio Pierce type vibes or whatever. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying, but I don't know. That didn't really work out either. So
he deserves an interview, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely give him a shot and you interview him and see what's up. But I mean, I think we talked about this several times before. I thought the Saints should have blown it all up, after Drew Brees left and kind of went completely reset it. So that's something I think they need to do this year. They need to figure out. I don't know if they can get out of Carr's contract or not, but he ain't him. You know what I'm saying? Might as well go with Rattler the rest of the season, see if he can amount to anything. If not, hopefully they have a high enough pick, or maybe they can get their quarterback of the future and kind of start it all over. I know they just gave Kamara an extension, but he's still a good piece to have, even if you do have a rookie quarterback, because there's nothing better for a rookie quarterback than to have a good running back to help him there. So. But the Saints got a lot of things that they need to figure out, because they're always in the red every year where they need to figure out payroll. So they may need to just take the hit in 2025, cut a bunch of people, trade people, whatever, and try to reboot and restart that franchise over. Yeah, let's get a game I got wrong. I thought the Chiefs wouldn't cover the rest of the year. They covered and then some here against the Browns. They went 21-7. Patrick Mahomes, the X-rays came back negative, but on the ankle, but the ankle's a little banged up. 19-38, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, 13 carries for 45 yards. Isaiah Pacheco, 13 for 32 as he works his way back from injury. Xavier Worthy, 6 for 46. DeAndre Hopkins, 5 for 36. And then you look at the Browns, they
James gets benched after throwing 3 interceptions. This was a bad James, 16 and 25, 146 yards. Jesus hasn't delivered from them picks yet. Jerome Ford, 7 to 84, 1 touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, 11 for 108, had a nice game. The Browns lose 21-7. The Chiefs, and the Browns, That's what this game was about.
Yeah, that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? Jameis Winston turned into what he is when he's bad. With the 3 picks, it just looked awful. And Kansas City did what they do is, they put up enough points. Their defense plays good D. Obviously, the biggest thing is hopefully Mahomes is okay or whatever. But this is one of those where I kind of felt like Jameis would convert back to the interception Jameis.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked the Chiefs to cover the 4 on this one here. But yeah, same old. Chiefs do what they got to do.
Because I think everybody
else. I think everybody else picked Cleveland. So the Chiefs do what they do. They find their ways to win games. It's not always the prettiest or whatever, but they do just enough. And that defense is legit in Kansas City, man. So I mean, even if Patrick Mahomes ain't having like superstar MVP type seasons, he always finds a way to win. And now if the defense can like help them win games, like, I don't know. It's just scary what the damn Chiefs can do over this next decade, bro, if that kid stays healthy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's already scary what they're doing. Sorry,
that's what I'm saying. If he stays healthy the rest of his career and they keep, putting their resources into the defense and they're not really worried about his weapons as long as they got the offensive line to protect him. You know what I'm saying? He'll make average guys look good. You know what I'm saying? So if that defense is good, he's gonna win a lot of freaking ball games, bro.
Somebody said it might have been Scott or it might have been Sam. They said Jameis is this version. He is the new Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that might be summed up. Ryan Fitzpatrick was a
but I think Ryan Fitzpatrick he was slightly more consistent than Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
like I would take a young Ryan Fitzpatrick over Jameis Winston.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, Jameis lives by the all risk and no biscuit.
Yeah, he has no fear, bro. He has no fear. He's gonna sling it, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, and he keeps slinging it. Slinging
yes,
it.
He does.
Yeah. Not much to talk about here. The Bengals beat the Titans. The Bengals keep their season alive. 6-8. They win 37-27. Joe Burrow, 26, 37, 271 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Chase Brown, 25 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Jamar Chase, 9 for 94. T. Higgins had 5 for 88 and a touchdown. You look at the Titans, they bench at this point in time Will Levis, who was 8 of 12 for 89 yards and 3 picks. They said, get him out, get him out.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, who was obviously boots on the ground there every Titans home game, he said that Callahan was pretty pissed, like was cussing at his ass and threw his ass on pretty much on the bench and still was chewing him out. But so they might be pretty much done with Mr. Will Levis. Mason Rudolph does come in. He gets 21 of 26, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Tony Pollard, 17 of 45 and a touchdown. This is a sloppy game. A lot of turnovers here in this game. But Bengals find a way in the Titans. Now 3-11. They're going to be, drafting near the top 5 or so.
Yeah. So, they'll be in prime position to draft another quarterback. Will Levis is just a turnover machine. And they actually have a halfway decent defense. They went up 14-0 early, and you're thinking, oh shit, Tennessee might be doing something here. But then Will Levis turned back into the pumpkin. And and it was pretty much over. Joe Burrow's having a nice season. It's too bad that defense is as horrible as it is, but it was funny. I was you mentioned Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I was talking to John. John was here. Shout out to my son. John was here watching the game with me. And as we're watching the disaster,
he parked in a good spot this time.
Yeah. He knew not to park in a reserved spot, so his shit didn't get towed like it did last week. But no, we were talking about while we were watching the disaster that is Tua and the Miami Dolphins, and then we were watching some Red Zone, and it was showing the Cincinnati game. But you mentioned Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I told him, I was like, do you realize that signing Ryan Fitzpatrick that year that we were supposedly tanking is why we didn't get Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're tanking, why the hell would you sign Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, he ain't
You know
gonna
what I'm saying? If you want, because he's gonna find a way to win a couple games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we wind up winning 5 games. Cincinnati only wins 4. They get Joe Burrow, and then we make the decision to take a dislocated hip Tua as opposed to Justin Herbert or Jordan Love. So, we fucked up we didn't tank properly, and then we made the wrong decision on the quarterback. So it was just funny that you mentioned Ryan Fitzpatrick or whatever, because it is what it is. He'll find a way to win some games for you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're really trying to lose, like, why the hell would you sign Ryan Fitzpatrick? So that was just stupid.
Real quick on this, Scott, the worst nightmare of every AFC team is the Bengals making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, and if I'm every AFC offensive team, I'm probably licking my chops saying, well, man, when we need some points, at least we know they're going to give up some because their defense is Swiss cheese.
Absolutely. I mean, they have slim chance. They need everybody and their mother to lose a couple games. You know what I'm saying? Which could happen, I guess. They're technically, mathematically still in it, but they need a lot of shit to fall right.
And Joe Burrow have an MVP type season. They're just not. They just they're
right. But unless they went up against like a Houston. I mean, and even Houston could put up points. So like
anybody, the Texans just put up 20 plus points against them. Get in there, Josh. Touchdown. There we go.
Right. But I don't. Nah. I mean, it's unfortunately another wasted season for the Cincinnati Bengals. To be honest, I mean, I like the way Denver's playing right now. Yeah, the Chargers are kind of they hit a major speed bump today with the Bucks, but I just don't see. I just think it's too much of a hike for Cincinnati to make a run here. But you never know. Yeah. We'll see what happens. But I don't think any other AFC playoff team is going to fear the Bengals because of that defense is garbage.
Yeah, it is. It is garbage. And shootouts. Real quick, we got the like we said, the Texans with this win and the Colts loss clinched the division here. Moved to 9-5. Your Dolphins fall to 6-8. Tua 29-40, 196 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. The one that really sealed the game at the end. It was one-on-one kind of coverage with Singletary and Hill, and Singletary wins that matchup. Devon Achane 12 for 41. What happened to Tyreek? Only had 2 receptions. Jalen Waddle, where was he at today? Was he banged up? Like
he wound up. Somebody like rolled over on his either ankle or his knee. I think early in the second quarter, so he was out for the whole second half of this game. But no, that was just a complete shit show. By Tua completely costed. 10 of their 20 points were directly off of Tua's turnovers. He had 2 turnovers in the red zone. That costed the team points. So I mean, he completely costed the Dolphins this game too, and including that last clinching interception. Tyreek had a step on Stingley Jr. If he just leads Tyreek, he runs underneath it and he's gone. Or at the very worst, you know what I'm saying, it's just a long pass play, but he underthrew him, and homeboy made a phenomenal play and took it from Tyreek. But if he leads Tyreek there, man, that's a huge play. So he just had a shitty game all the way around to us. So
are we watching the last 3 games in Miami Dolphin uniform these next 3 weeks?
It's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if they shut him down. To be honest, he's been dealing with a wrist injury that I think they said is going to require surgery.
So you think we might be watching his last game like next week?
Had they not, and that's the other thing. Like, I don't want to go on a whole rant here about the Dolphins, but Chris Greer has completely effed shit up.
The first time.
He completely messed stuff up. They gave Tua the contract. They gave McDaniel an extension, and for some reason they felt the need to extend to restructure Jalen Ramsey's contract because they gave Jalen Waddle his extension. They felt the need to have to restructure Tyreek Hill's deal when they didn't need to. So they could have gotten out of Tyreek Hill's contract this year. They could have gotten out of Bradley Chubb's contract this year. And now they put themselves in a situation where they can get out of it, but it's going to cost them that much more. So where I thought this was honestly going to be the last year of Tyreek Hill, now I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because they put themselves in a situation where if they cut him, it's going to cost them a ton to cut him. But it very well could be If it was up to me, I would say let it be the last one of Tyreek Hill and just blow the whole shit up, get rid of the whole front office, get rid of the whole coaching staff, and just start this shit all over. I would move off of Tua after next season.
You're talking full fledged.
I'm completely done with it all. The only smart thing they did is that they basically gave themselves an out after next year with Tua. You know what I'm saying? So they could keep Tua next year, and then they can get out of it after next season, and it won't cost them as much or whatever. So I think that's the way they need to go. If they have an opportunity to quarterback, they're not going to pick high enough to get one of the top ones. But if there's somebody that they think in the second round that they can groom to be the next quarterback, I think they need to do that and move on.
Okay. Real quick, got C.J. Stroud, 18 of 26, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, 12 of 23. Also caught 5 balls for 33. Nico Collins, 4 for 17, have 2 touchdowns. So kind of saved his fantasy day nonetheless. Any other thoughts here on Texans Dolphins that you didn't already hit?
No, like I was just saying to answer Scott, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not huge numbers from CJ Stroud, but there were a few plays that needed to be made for his team, and he made them. You know what I'm saying? He extended a couple plays, got some big key first downs, got a key touchdown on an extended play. So not huge numbers, but important numbers that he put up in timely moments and did what he needed to do for his team to win the game.
Yeah, the Ravens, this was the biggest spread of the game, and they delivered, and then some 35-14. The Ravens get to 9-5 over the shitty-ass Giants, who are currently have the number 1 draft pick. Lamar Jackson, selfish bastard, scores 5 touchdowns, couldn't let Derrick Henry get one. 21 of 25, 290 yards, 5 touchdowns. Again, Derrick Henry only 14 for 67. I knew when he cut his hair it was going to be a bad deal. Rashad Bateman, 3 of 82 touchdowns. Juice Hill, 5 for 61 and a touchdown. Mark Andrews caught a ball for a 2 balls for a touchdown. The Giants, I don't really think we really need to go over too much. Tim Boyle came in the game for Tommy DeVito, 12 of 24, 123 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 reception. Tyrone Tracy had 10 for 31. Malik Neighbors continues to have a nice rookie year, 10 of 82 and a touchdown. But anything here other than what we already knew, Ravens are really good, and the Giants, well, they're going to clean house and draft a new quarterback and everything else.
Yeah, no, just glad that the Ravens were able to cover the spread. So that was a win there. As far as the Giants, it's just another organization that I don't know if Brian Daboll and Joe Shane get fired, but they're definitely going to be drafting a quarterback. Let's see if they make the right choice out of Sanders or Cam Ward. I'm not trying to have Miami Hurricane bias, but I think Cam Ward is the better quarterback or the more NFL-ready quarterback, in my opinion. Sanders is a hell of an athlete, but Cam Ward, there's something about him that's like he's got that it to him, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he brings everybody up. So it's going to be interesting to see who the Giants go with. But, yeah, they definitely need to go quarterback. Malik Neighbors looks like he's a real player, so you got to get somebody that can actually get him the ball.
Yeah, let's real quick touch on a game that doesn't matter as far as playoffs or anything else. Jets win 32-25 in a game that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams has a little throwback game here. 16 of 30, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns. Aaron had 6 carries for 45. Breece Hall had the game-winning touchdown. Devontae Adams, this was all the second half, Johnny. He was shut down the first half. Second half, 9 for 198, 2 touchdowns, including he caught one that could have been the game winner. Got tackled kind of at the 1. 2 plays later, Mac Jones, 31 of 46, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Brian Thomas Jr. I know you love this guy. 10 receptions, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. Continues his stellar rookie season as well. But I don't really think we need to talk about this game other than, Devontae Adams is still Devontae Adams, and every once in a while, game like today when it's not a great defense, Aaron still can show you that why he is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I need to comment on this game is I'm glad they scored a touchdown and then kick a field goal, so they covered the spread.
Amen to that. Amen to
Yep.
that. Another game. The Cowboys keep
Yep.
their slim playoff hopes alive here. 30-14. I think I picked the Panthers to cover. I just thought they would fight.
Yep.
But
Yeah, you did.
Cooper Rush, 18-29, 214 yards, 3 touchdowns. They beat up on the Rico Suave DeWalde, 25 carries, 149 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 9 for 116 and a touchdown. Bryce Young, 19-28, 219 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So Adam Thielen had 5 for 51. Jalen Coker, 4 for 110 and a touchdown. Any thoughts on this? I mean, Cowboys keeping their season alive here by slim margins.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say. I I picked Dallas. I thought the nice Carolina run was going to come to an end. They had been playing well the last few weeks, but going up against a really good defense. CeeDee Lamb had a nice big game. So Dallas is actually playing for something. So they found a way to put it all together and get a big win there, like you said, to keep their slim hopes alive. But yeah, I was expecting Carolina to kind of come back down to earth.
Yeah, me too. But Cowboys, I thought they could, hang just a little bit, I figured. But good for the Cowboys. Keep it interesting. We get to I thought maybe the shocker of the day, really. And it was just not that the Bucs won, but they won running away. Oop, the mic's falling here. 40-17 against the Chargers. And it was just an absolute blowout. Baker Mayfield, 22 of 27, 288 yards, 4 touchdowns. Bucky Irving's 15 for 117. Mike Evans continues, 9 receptions, 159, 2 touchdowns. Jalen McMillan, 5 for 75 and a touchdown. The Chargers, not the greatest game. Justin Herbert, 21 of 33, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think they said this was like his first interception since like September. So it's been a while since he threw a pick. Lab McConkey had 5 for 58 and a touchdown. And there was nothing going on in the running game. But, man, this Bucs team, Atlanta, this puts more pressure on Atlanta tomorrow night because they can't afford to lose enough, get 2 games behind here as the Bucs continue to kind of cruise.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised that the Bucs won this game. I actually picked them to win this game, but I did not expect them to completely stomp out the LA Chargers. That Charger defense have been playing pretty well. But the Bucs have some dogs on that team. Mike Evans, dog, Bucky Irving, the rookie. It's ridiculous what he's doing as a rookie running back. A 4th-round draft pick, just to irritate Dolphin fans. He was picked after Jalen Wright was picked by the Dolphins, and Jalen Wright got 2 carries today. So good job there, front office of the Miami Dolphins. On another one, but I like Bucky Irving. I like Rashad White. I like what this Bucs team is doing. They're running the ball. They're not asking Baker to do too much, and he's hell of efficient. 22 of 27, 288, 4 touchdowns. You got studs at wide receiver. You got some good tight ends. The offensive line is good. This Bucs team is built nice, bro. They've got some good trench players, defensive line, offensive line, so good running backs. They can put a little run together. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I think they're the best team in their division. It's gonna be interesting to see how the playoffs line up or whatever. But I think the Bucs could put some scare into folks. In the playoffs.
I did too. Would they be if Green Bay? We would play the worst division team, so that might be us. They might play. It might be Green Bay, Tampa Bay, an old NFC Central. Remember back in the day, they used to play the Brett Favre, Warren Sapp days. I remember before they moved to the South.
Those were so much fun.
Yeah, I think if that's the way the standings, because we would be the best wild card team, so we would play the worst division. Team.
You would play either the Bucs or the winner of the West, depending on which one had the worst record.
Yeah, I guess that would be Seattle. You're right. It would be Seattle, probably Seattle.
So
maybe
it's possible. And if you guys are playing them right now, so I think you guys are probably
just running all over them right now.
I'm pretty sure you guys are hoping to play Seattle or or the
Arizona.
Rams over the Bucks.
Or the Rams, yeah.
Like I said, that Bucks team, I know they're gonna get the first, playoff game at home because they'll win the division, but that type of playing style can travel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way they play defense and they run the ball. So if Baker doesn't,
like
Baker doesn't make big mistakes, I've always liked Baker Mayfield. I was super shocked that he was the number 1 pick that year that he came out in the draft, but I was hoping he would honestly slip because a lot of people had like issues with like his attitude and his temperament. You know what I'm saying? So I was hoping he would slip in that draft to the Dolphins, but no, of course the freaking Cleveland Browns pick him with the number 1 pick. So
they screwed it up anyway. So
yeah, of course they did, but you know what I'm saying? it is what it is. But I've always liked Baker. I've always liked his. I like my quarterback to have that type of attitude and confidence and swag to him. You know what I'm saying? Like you want your leader to be like that. So I like Baker Mayfield. I'm glad he found a home here in Tampa. They love him down here, bro. They love him down here. And I'm happy for Todd Bowles too. Good coach. He's of the Tony Dungy mode, quiet, reserve type, but he's got a great defensive mind, and he's a good leader of men, bro. And that's what you want in your head coach.
There's rumors that he might retire after this year.
Todd Bowles?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Wow, that would be interesting, man. But
I think part of it is like they want him. Like for some reason, there's somebody in the office that doesn't really like him. And they're just waiting.
I mean, they always complain about him because he's always so mellow and laid back no matter what's going on.
But they're waiting.
So like you hit right. That's what I'm saying, bro. Some people are just never happy even when you're winning. Like I don't get it, but shit, I'll take him down here. Go down to South Beach, bro, to your own stopping grounds. You know what I'm saying? Todd Bowles used to coach down in Miami too. So
yeah.
But no, hey, if he's gonna retire, then I hope they go on a run.
Yeah. Unless it comes to the expense of my Packers, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Let's get into it. We talked about this game and fucking Jonathan Taylor and the shitty ass Colts. 31-13 Denver. This game was 13-7, and they were going up, gonna score this touchdown, go up 2 scores with Jonathan Taylor, and he drops the ball. After that, the game changed, and they scored 24 unanswered points, no points in the second half by the Colts. Denver rolls. They try to trick play. It was a interception return for a touchdown on a trick play. I guess if you throw it behind him, is that an interception? I guess so. Nice touchdown, Romeo Doubs. But Anthony Richardson, 17-38, 172 yards, 2 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor, 22 carries, 107 yards. Should have had a touchdown. And Michael Pittman, 6 for 58. You look at the Broncos. Bo Nix, not a great game for Bo Nix, especially in that first half. 20-33, 130 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Broncos do win. Cortland Sutton 3 for 32 and a touchdown. Your thoughts here is Broncos, the second half resurgence keeps their playoff hopes alive and pretty much has crushed the Colts playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it started off with that ridiculous play by Jonathan Taylor. I mean, the Colts had all the momentum going in that game. Like you mentioned, Bo Nix did not play great, but the Broncos made the plays they needed to make to win this game, to put themselves in a good position to hold on to one of the last playoff spots. But the Colts just did what the Colts do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Find a way to lose a game. You know what I'm saying? That they had an opportunity to win that game. And again, that's just more frustration because between them losing and the Chargers losing, like Miami actually had an opportunity and they just shit the bed, bro. So it's just frustrating. But I'm happy for the Broncos. I'm happy for Bo Nix. There was a lot of chatter of him coming out in the draft and that he was so old. And I mean, he got a lot of experience under his belt with all those starts he had in college, and it prepared him to be ready to go to hit the ground running in the NFL. Yeah, he didn't have the greatest of games, but he made some plays when they needed him. And that defense is playing well. So, props to the Broncos for, finding ways to win games.
Yeah. And real quick, Scott was talking about this, the Broncos, Bengals. So the Bengals, next 3 games, they play the Browns, then they play the Broncos, and then they play the Steelers. So Steelers should probably have to, still be playing for something there. That final week is maybe for the division. And you're looking at the Bengals would have to jump over the Dolphins, Colts, and then the Chargers to get into the playoffs. And he said, so if you're looking at their 3 games, the Broncos Chargers play on Thursday. That's a big one. And then they play the Bengals and then the Chiefs, which I don't think the Chiefs would have anything to play for. They don't have, they should have everything kind of wrapped up at that point in time, maybe, depending on what happens with Buffalo. And then you look at the Chargers' last 3 games. They got the Patriots and the Raiders. I think the Chargers, even if they lose Thursday night, are probably still getting in. So, with
like you said, I mean, it's you can say look at the schedule or shit like that, but each week, I mean, it has proven to us that you never freaking know.
Yeah.
Each week is his own thing. So you can look at the schedule and say, oh, this looks easier, but that don't mean shit. I mean, the Cleveland Browns could turn around and smack the shit out of the Cincinnati Bengals next week. Jameis could have one of his 4 touchdowns.
Jameis is going to have his one.
Right. He could have a 4 touchdown and only 2 interception day next week, and they, and they win by 3 points. So you never know. The Cincinnati Denver game, if things line up right, will be an interesting game. If there's some meaning behind it, maybe it'll get flexed. Who knows? But that'll be an interesting game to see the Broncos against Cincinnati if there are possible playoff implications in that one. But if I had to put my money on it, I'd say the Chargers are going to find a way to sneak into that last spot. The Chargers and Broncos, I think. So pretty much the way the playoffs are looking right now, I think is how it's ultimately going to stay. Where they'll hold on to those last couple wild card spots.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. Real quick, Cardinals get to 500. They win 30-17. This is if I'm a Patriots fan, this has been the best right now. Like Drake May continues to prove like he makes a hell of a lot of plays where you're like, holy shit, this is a guy. And
I like that kid, man. And it pisses me off as a Dolphin fan, but I like that kid. He looks good, man. Sky, you should be happy about your young quarterback, bro.
Yeah, we should. But then you're like, oh, but we still get our ass kicked, so we're still probably going to get the Heisman Trophy winner,
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Travis Hunter is like the top 2 or 3 pick here. So,
I don't know that I take him, bro.
I think that's right now. That's what everybody's saying. So I
don't know. What are you gonna just have him play wide receiver?
I think so.
Because he's not gonna play both ways in the NFL. So is he that stud dominant number 1 wide receiver? I don't know. I don't know.
We'll find out. And maybe they don't take him. So
if I'm them, I take advantage of somebody thirsty for a quarterback. And I trade back a couple spots, take the best player available, get some more draft picks, and start and keep building it around this kid. He's a playmaker. He's very instinctual. Again, it sucks as a Dolphin fan that New England got that guy right away after the Mac Jones debacle. But they get another opportunity to get Drake May. He's going to be a player, man. I like what he did. Arizona pisses me off. I picked them the last couple of weeks, and they completely shit the bed the last couple of weeks. So I figured New England will keep it close, and then, of course, they don't. So so that was one of my losses this week.
I was on that same logic. Drake May goes 19-23, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ramondre Stevenson, 13 for 69, and not much in the passing game. And then you get to Kyler Murray, 23 of 30, 224 yards. James Conner, 16 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trey McBride had 9 for 87. Marvin Harrison only had 2 receptions in this game. He's been a big disappointment for me in fantasy, but nonetheless, anything else to add here on Cardinals Patriots?
No, not much. I mean, the Cardinals is like they're such a roller coaster of a team. Like you don't know what the hell you're gonna get from week to week. With the Arizona Cardinals, some games that they should have won the last few weeks, they completely shit the bed both times against Seattle, which is a division foe. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens going down the stretch here. But I think Arizona had their opportunities to win that division, and they kind of squandered it with those 2 losses against Seattle. But like I said, I like Drake May and the future. Demario Douglas is a good, nice wide receiver they got there. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens down the road with New England and their quarterback. But as far as this season, we'll see if Arizona can actually string a couple together to make it interesting down the stretch in that NFC West that's wide open, bro.
It is, and we'll get to the standings here in just a minute. Josh Allen, we get to this game. This game is, man, a high-ass scoring game. And I thought it was
such a stud.
Was going to be. He's now the favorite to win the Heisman, the MVP. Josh Allen, 23, 34, 362 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Cook, 14 for 105, 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen also ran for 2 touchdowns, so he had 4 total touchdowns. Ty Johnson, 5 for 114. Keith Coleman had 1 for 64. The Khalil Shakir, 6 for 39 and a touchdown. You get to the Lions. Jared Goff had, this is funny how life is, and this is the NFL today. He has 494 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. They lose. Remember, he had 5 interceptions against the Texans, and they won. So It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just how the NFL is some days. 8 for 31 and a touchdown. Amon St. Brown, 14 for 193 and a touchdown. Sam Laporta, 7 for 111. Jahmyr Gibbs, 5 for 83. Jamison Williams, 3 for 37 and a touchdown. Lions lose their second loss, get to fall to 12-2. Bills back on track after suffering a close loss to the Rams last week, 11-3. Thoughts here on the Bills bounce back win?
There's no doubt in my mind that he's the MVP. He's been playing like that the majority of the season. He's an absolute fucking dog, Josh Allen. Even that play that didn't count because of a holding call, he basically chest passed it to his tight end for a touchdown. He's a dog, bro. He's a great player. If they can find a way defensively to make enough stops, because they give up points, this Bills team does. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, what kind of a run they can make. But what's there not to like about Josh Allen and the way he's played? I love James Cook. That was a great, pick by them.
What the hell was Dan? Was I on track, you think, with Dan Campbell?
Yeah, dude, come on, man. I understand that your team was having a hard time stopping Josh Allen, but there was 12 minutes left. And you literally scored in 2 minutes to pull within 2 scores. Like, just kick the ball off and hope he makes a mistake or something. But to do an onside kick right there, where the percentages of getting the onside kick, first of all, are horrible anyway. But then not only do you not get it, but he runs it back to inside the 5-yard line, and you basically give them an easy touchdown. So I understand that he's a gambling man and he takes risk or whatever, but you're at the same time you're putting your team in a bad situation. Sometimes just just kick it off and hope that your team can make a play. But that shit like that worries me, because you saw what he did against Dallas in the playoffs, where he just continued to go for it until they finally bit him in the ass. Like, that's the one thing that worries me. Like, I hope he doesn't make one of those decisions in the playoffs that cost this team the game. And then, they can't ever get to the Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl because he makes one of those calls. So, again, they're playing a really good, Buffalo team. It's not like they were going to go 15-1. But you're at home. Like, sometimes you got to just kick it off and just hope that your defense, a fumble or an interception, you never know. But like, there was so much time left in that fourth quarter, and your offense was humming. So, like,
it gets worse for the Lions real quick.
Yeah, man.
Insult to injury here. The defensive linemen, Alan McNeil and Carlton Davis. McNeil with the knee, Davis with the jaw are both season-ending. Two of their defensive starters to already go along with, a couple, Hutch and a couple other guys who are out. So there's that.
Yeah, it sucks that they're having all these injuries there. Sorry to cut you off on that one.
No, good. You're good.
Somebody that I think could help them, but I don't think he'll clear waivers to get to them. But Calais Campbell would be a wonderful fit for that Detroit Lions team, and he deserves an opportunity to win. I wish there was some way that Miami can make sure he went to Detroit, but because there was talk last week of after they lost that maybe they cut him so that way he can go to a team that has a chance to win. But what are the chances that saying that he'll clear waivers to get to Detroit? I don't see it happening. Somebody
It would
else
have to be honest.
Baltimore, somebody else like that would snag him. But I wish he was. He seems like he would have the perfect mindset to play for Dan Campbell in Detroit.
Yeah, real quick too, to touch on how good Josh Allen's been over the last 2 weeks. Listen to these stats: 104 passing yards, 151 rushing yards, 5 pass touchdowns, 5 rush touchdowns, 0 turnovers the last 2 weeks for Josh Allen. That's just the last 2 weeks.
Jeez. he's a dog, bro. He's a fucking dog, bro.
That's how good he is. Yeah, I mean that's how good he is.
He's awesome, bro, and I gotta deal with him for the next 12 years or whatever the hell.
Yeah, he's said. The Eagles, man, continue to find ways to win. 27-13 over the Steelers. They win the Pennsylvania Bowl game here. To get to 12-2. Now they're right there after the Lions lost to get that number 1 seed. Steelers fall to 2-10-4, but because the Colts lost to clinch a playoff spot. Russell Wilson, not a great game. 14-22, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. No running game whatsoever for the Steelers.
A big fumble by Najee Harris in that game too.
Yeah, he had a huge fumble. Calvin Austin, 65, led the way in the passing game. Their offense just couldn't get nothing going. And shout out to Vic Fangio and that Eagles defense for balling out. Jalen Hurts, this confirmed he did break a finger, his ring finger on his non-throwing hand. 25 of 32, 290 yards, 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, not the greatest game. I think we could probably take off the Eric Dickerson, breaking the record. But
yes, please.
19-65. AJ Brown, 8 for 110, 1 touchdown. He chirped a little bit and said, "Give me the damn ball," and they got him the ball today, and he responded. 8 for 110 and a touchdown. Devontae Smith, 11 for 109 and a touchdown. Eagles kind of had this game, in the bag for the most part.
Yeah, very, very good, very efficient game for Jalen Hurts. You mentioned the 25 of 32. Very clean game, no interceptions. Doing it with his legs as well. Both, his top 2 receivers went over 100 yards. The defense is making plays. Like that team is just stacked, bro. They just got talent all over the field on that Philadelphia Eagles team. Shout out to Howie Roseman and that front office in Philly. I don't know. Maybe they got an assistant GM that needs to get promoted and go down to Miami or something. Something, man. We need to find somebody from a good organization to help us out because we can't do shit right down here.
You guys want Mike Tannenbaum back? You can have Mike Tannenbaum.
Get the fuck that guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's another one that we kept around too fucking long. And Chris Greer is one of his disciples. Like we need to clean house, bro. It's been going on for 20 plus years. Like, start all over, get somebody from Philly or Kansas City and an actual winning organization, Pittsburgh, and you know what I'm saying, and rebuild it or whatever. But Philly handled their business. It doesn't always look pretty with the way Philly does it, but Jalen Hurts played really good football today, and they did what they had to do and got the job done. They're going to be a tough out, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
Jalen Hurts worries me sometimes, but then he has a really good, efficient passing game like he did today. But then there's days where it seems like he can't hit you know what I'm saying, a wide open guy at all. But if they can run the ball, and with the type of defense, Jalen Carter is an absolute monster in the middle of that defensive line. It's going to be interesting to see. I think if I had to put my money on it, I would say, unless Tampa Bay can knock off one of those two, because Tampa is one of the teams that actually beat Detroit. If Tampa Bay doesn't knock one of these two off, I think it's Detroit and Philly in the NFC title game. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, your boys, if your boys can play enough defense, because I mean, you got to have a Jordan Love. You got to have that type of a quarterback to be able to beat Detroit or Philly.
I just think right now
it's going to be interesting.
Detroit's piling up on defense is got to be a little worrisome.
Yeah, that's the scary part there. And their offense is able to put up a lot of points, but if they can't stop,
what a catch!
Then they're going to be in trouble, Detroit. And again, like I said, Philly just has such good talent all over the field, bro. So
They
it's
do.
just
They do.
crazy, bro. It's
They
crazy.
do.
It'll
Whether
be
it's
interesting. I'm looking forward to
Jalen
it.
Carter, the other Davis, like that
Yeah,
defense.
dude, like that defensive line. Then you got no Kobe Dean and those linebackers, and it's,
Yeah.
like they just, again, that front office knows how to build a team.
Yeah. Well, people just let Jalen Carter just fucking fall to
Dude, like
the field. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. And now he's pretty much unstoppable, bro. Like nobody can block him one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's a menace, bro. Yeah, and they got him at like what, 12 or 15?
Yeah.
Like
12,
what the
I think.
hell? Like, come on, man. Like, just let Philly get good players in the middle of the draft.
Yeah. Let's get into our dogs and turds of the week. Who is your NFL Week 15 turd of the week?
My turd of the week is going to none other than, like John would say, the left arm of God, Tua Tagovailoa, which once again shit the bed up against a good team with not one, not two, but 3 interceptions, including the game clincher when they had an opportunity to go down the field and tie the ball game. He threw an interception right before the half when they were in the red zone, costing us points. Just a horrible game. Once again, I don't know what the hell his record is, like 2-16 or some shit like that against winning teams. So he's a fraud. I'm just gonna go out and say it. He beats horrible teams, but he can't play worth a shit against a good team. So Tua Tagovailoa, 29 of 40, 196, 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. Just absolutely horrible game today. Tua is my turd of the week.
I was sorry. I was watching the.
No, it's all
like a misread of Dobbs and Love. We're on
it's
the
all
same
good.
page here, but nonetheless,
he ain't worth being listened about anyway. So it's all good.
hey, welcome. Well, finally, welcome to the Dolphins and to our frauds. After I've been trying to tell you for.
Well, I mean, I never thought he was great. I thought he was a good player that had the potential to get, but no, he always comes up small in the big games. Always, bro, always. And it's something that if you actually go back to college, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he came in that national title game, but he was a freshman. He came in at halftime. It's not like he started that game. But his 3 years after that, he never won the big game. Yeah. So it's continued into his pro career as well, unfortunately for us.
I've been saying this, Scott, that he definitely should be on the hot seat. I don't know. Johnny's been defending him like he's his child here.
Well, I mean, I was trying to be positive and hopeful, but now I want everybody gone.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I've been telling you for, you know what I mean? Better late than never. Real quick, my turn of the week. I think you already know who the fuck it's going to be. I started the show bitching about him dropping the ball on the 1 yard line, and that's none other than Jonathan Taylor for dropping the ball on the 1 yard line. Completely really changed the game, the outlook of that game. Instead of being up 2 scores, you drop the ball on the half-yard line. Broncos get it. The ball goes in the end zone. The Broncos get it, and, they didn't stop scoring after that. So Jonathan Taylor, you cost me my fantasy for the week, and you cost your team a chance at winning the damn game. So Jonathan Taylor, you are my NFL Week 15 turd of the week.
Yeah, absolutely well deserving. Again, I don't understand why players think that that's a cool looking move to drop the ball right at the goal line. It's just the stupidest thing, bro. And you completely destroyed your team's momentum there. Opportunity to go up 2 touchdowns, and that's just a stupid play. So he's definitely deserving of the turd.
Yeah. Who is your that's a turd. Who's your dog of the week, Johnny?
My dog of the week, there were a few different nominees. But I'm gonna go with who I think is gonna be the MVP. I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. It hurts me as a Dolphin fan to say it, but I think he's the best playing the best quarterback play right now is Josh Allen. 23 of 34, 362, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, added 11 rushes for 68 yards and 2 more touchdowns. He's just, I mean, if that team can find a way to make some stops on defense, he's almost unstoppable sometimes, bro. If he's on point with his passing, I don't know how you stop Buffalo in that offense. They got 2 good tight ends, good running backs. They picked up Amari Cooper. Like, Josh Allen is a stud, so Josh Allen is my dog of the week, bro.
Yeah, I don't mind that. You definitely, and you could say I was going to think about Lamar, but I'm going to go to a different guy. I'm going to go to a guy who said, you know what could fix our team? Passing. And by God, they responded and they gave him the ball. A.J. Brown, 8 receptions for 110 yards, 1 touchdown. And you could even tune in his teammate for that 11 as well, Devontae Smith. I'm going to go double dog here. And Devontae Smith also 11 for 109 and a touchdown, beating up on that Steelers team. They get my dog of the week, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. The reason I gave it to them over Lamar, who did have the 5 touchdowns, is Lamar was playing the Giants. So, sometimes you got to go with a little bit better team that they, So anyway, but passing cured the Eagles. It looks like everybody's kumbaya again in Philly for at least 1 week until next week when they're not. But A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, my dog of the week.
Yeah, it's funny, well-deserving for them. I almost went with Cole as well. I almost went with Baker and Mike Evans with the numbers that they put up against a Charger team in L.A. So I almost gave it to them, but Josh Allen doing what he's doing to Detroit. I know Detroit is depleted on defense, but still, he went into Detroit, who only had 1 loss, and absolutely did whatever the hell he wanted to that Detroit Lions team, to the point where, again, he made Dan Campbell try an onside kick with 12 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. That's how scared he had Detroit of what he was doing. So, no, some really good play. You mentioned Lamar. Jalen Hurts had a really nice, efficient game today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of good, good play by guys out there, but I like our choices for the dogs of the week. Definitely well deserved.
Yeah. Anything else any final takeaways or you want to before we get out of here?
No, just again, disappointing in my team, but I'm not even gonna dwell on that. Some fun football to watch. Again, a lot of good performances out there. It's gonna be interesting to see how these last couple weeks go, so we can see how the playoffs finish off. But just to the people out there, hit the subscribe button, smash that like, turn on your notifications. If you want to hear me bitch and moan about more Dolphins talk, Kendall Sports Network right here on YouTube. The Dolphin Chronicles every Monday night, 7:30. Me, Alex, and Byron are going to be completely shitting on the Dolphins because they deserve it tomorrow night. So definitely check us out.
Probably for the next 4 weeks. So,
yeah, pretty much.
Other than that, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back this time next week. I'm going to go finish watching the Packers. Hopefully, they're up 2 scores here on the Seahawks.
Nice. Yep. I picked them, so good. I hope they win this game.
17-3. Hopefully, we can handle business here the rest of the way. Other than that, be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you next week, 7 o'clock Central, 8 Eastern. Catch you all next week. Later.
Peace.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.